Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. What I want to talk about in this video is a young lady, I think about 26, 27 years old in Washington, D.C., I believe, who was given over $10,000 in cash benefits from a program that was created to help assist low-income families. And basically, the article states that she spent like over $6,000 of that money that was given to her by the government or this special program to live it up. You know, she went on vacations. She did some things with her kids, got herself fixed up. And as you can see the clickbait picture up there, you can see she's chilling. So you probably already know what this is leading up to. But I'm going to give you my commentary on that because I think there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. So let's get right into this article. You know, it's not a surprise to me that something like this would happen. I mean, it happens quite often, more often than what people know about, you know, or more often than people actually speak on. But the article says a mother in Washington, D.C. spent thousands of dollars on a lavish vacation after receiving money from a taxpayer-funded program to help low-income people. It's always taxpayer-funded, right? The government does not have any money. They don't take money out of their pockets and give to struggling families. They take money out of your pocket and my pocket, okay? And they don't ask us. They don't say, Mr. Bowling, could you give us some of your tax money? They don't ask you saying, Mrs. or Mr., could you give us some of your tax money so that we could help poor, struggling families or help people who are below the poverty line? They don't do that. They take it out of our checks forcefully, okay? But that's another story, and I digress. Let's go on. The D.C. government's pilot program was issued in 2022 to offer more than 100 low-income mothers $10,800 to access how cash payment to access how cash payments with no strings attached could help a family in the future. The Washington Post reported February the 1st. Yeah, and then it goes on to say that. A nonprofit group called Martha's Table, interesting, facilitated the program, and its website said that Strong Families, Strong Futures DC was a direct cash assistance program to help moms in the DC area. One mother of three, 27-year-old Kanithia Miller, decided to take her payments in a lump sum of $10,800, the Post article said. And it says she was a stay-at-home mom when her third child, Nizer, was born in summer 2022, making things work financially through a host of public benefits. Now, how they read that? How's that worded? It doesn't sound right. Her two-bedroom apartment is subsidized, and with temporary assistance to needy families as her only income, her rent payments are about $120 a month. I wish my rent payment was $120 a month. Food Stamps and WIC, a program that offers nutritional support for low-income mothers, offered another lifeline for Miller to provide for her infant and her two older children, ages 5 to 8. In 2022, Breitbart News reported that food stamp benefits increased by 12.5% as families struggled to afford groceries with prices that skyrocketed in President Joe Biden's economy. And I can understand that. Let me just say something here real quick about this. I can understand that. You know, look, let's face it. Just about everybody in America right now is dealing with this high inflation. You know, as I shared with you guys in the previous video, conversation that I had, a very quick conversation that I had with a resident where I live at right now on the elevator as I just got through grocery shopping, and he asked me where did I go grocery shopping. I told him. The conversation led up to the price of food, you know, and how it's very, very difficult just to not, you know, when you go grocery shopping, it's hard not to spend $100 worth of groceries, and the groceries don't last you but a couple of days. You know, and I was sharing, I was like, yeah, it's crazy. So I can understand people wanting to get food stamps. I wish I could get it. You know, I make too much, right? You know, the government wants you to be completely dependent on them. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I can understand why families would want to get these benefits. I mean, it's for people who are struggling. It's for people who, look, it's my money. And I don't want to give away too much of this in the commentary right now, because I'm going to give most of that in the commentary. But at the end of the day, I understand it. So I'm going to give you all the details of that in my further commentary. Let's go on with this article. The Post article noted Miller took a break from working on her bachelor's degree in social work to help her family, and later heard about the program. So apparently she was in school, right? But then according to this article, she took a break from working on her bachelor's degree in social work to help her family, and that's when she later heard about the program. I don't know what it means by her taking a break from her bachelor's degree in social work to help her family. I don't know what it means. Whether she like, let me just go ahead and set this aside for a while and take care of my kids, because the only way you probably would have been able to do that was to be like, you know what, I'm just going to look at some programs, see if I can get on and help you. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Okay. But let me say something real quick about this, the social work thing right here. And this is kind of like a sidebar, but Thomas Sowell, former economist Thomas Sowell, mentioned this about black people who tend to specialize, if you will, when they go to college. They tend to specialize in these kind of programs, if you will, or degrees that don't really pay much money. You know, social work doesn't pay a lot of money. You know, you do all right, but you don't pay a lot of money, and they're pretty easy in terms of academic processes. Now, he wasn't putting black people down for focusing on these type of programs and focusing on these type of degrees, but what he was trying to say was that, look, people are arguing about whites still making more than blacks in terms of economic progresses and so forth. Well, a lot of times the reason for that is because a significant number of black people, when they go to college, they major in fields that don't pay much money. Social work is one of them. A lot of white people major in fields that pay money. Technology, science, you know what I mean? Technology, science, law, doctors, you know, they major in those fields. And those fields tend to make a lot more money than being in social work, you know, unless you decide you want to be a basketball player, but that's not a major necessarily, you know, but it's another story. You know, the point is that I wanted to say something about this real quick because I see this quite often. Thomas Sowell is right about this. I see this quite often when I hear people that black people that where I work at, so it says I'm going to college, and I find out what they're going to college for, and my mind's like, it's good they're going to college, but they're probably not going to make much money in this. So the argument from the left about this idea that white people are still making more money than black people, and the reason for that is because of discrimination and all this is a bunch of bull crap. A lot of that has to do with the things that black people major in. They major in fields that don't make much money. So, of course, you're going to be making less money than your white counterparts. All right, having said that, let's go on. Miller saved some of the money for essentials, but said the other side is, I wanted to blow it. I wanted to have fun, adding she wanted her children to experience something she would not have been able to provide without money. And that's all I'm going to read right there in that article. You guys can read the rest of that article in the description box below if you like. Type on the article name and find out for yourself and read the rest of it for yourself. But I just wanted to say real quick on this, in terms of welfare in and of itself. I shared this in some previous videos. I have been on welfare several times, at least twice. Okay. And I don't have a problem with the welfare system in and of itself. And in fact, the welfare system was actually created, or for the most part created under not Lyndon B. Johnson in the 1960s with the Great Society, but Franklin D. Roosevelt with the New Deal. And I think even before then, Woodrow Wilson, I think, initiated some welfare programs, but I forget the name of that particular program, if it was one. Correct me in the comment box below. But it really jump-started under Franklin D. Roosevelt with what was called the New Deal. And the New Deal welfare program was welfare program, if you want to call it that, was initiated because of the Great Depression, okay? Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society program was initiated to supposedly fight poverty, right? So, but at any rate, these welfare programs were created to help struggling people. And it was created with taxpayer money. Now, what I want to make a mention of is not downing the welfare program in and of itself, okay, but what I want to focus on is the right of those who have contributed to the welfare program, that if something happens in their life, that, hey, you have every right to get that you have every right to get on with. If you get laid off or whatever, and you was someone that worked most of your life and you get laid off or whatever, or something happens where you lose your job, hey, you have every right to get on that welfare program. Look, that's your taxpayer money. That's your money. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's what I want to put out. Many, many years ago, it was considered to be shameful for someone to get on welfare because you was becoming dependent on someone else instead of depending on yourself. Okay. And this was both in the black and the white communities. You was considered, they shamed you for getting on welfare. So a significant number of black people prior to the 60s, they was like, man, I don't want to, it's just shameful. I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own because the overriding belief prior to the 1960s among many blacks at the time was it was the government that caused problems in their lives. It was the government that initiated Jim Crow laws. It was the government that caused all this discrimination. And so what blacks were doing was, we don't want to depend on anything that the government has to give. Let us do it ourselves. If we fail, we fail. We succeed, but we do so on our own. So black people prior to the 1960s was all about self-sufficiency. And anyone that looked to the government to help them, they was like, man, you don't that's shameful. Why you're not being the man you're supposed to be, But but my argument is, and I understand that argument, but my argument is this. As I said earlier, the welfare programs, whether it was a New Deal program or the Great Society program or any other program, okay, is taken from taxes, the taxes of working Americans. It's coming out your paycheck. It's coming out my paycheck, local, state, federal, okay? The money they take out of our checks, they use that for various different things, EMS, the fire department, school systems, law enforcement, okay? But in addition to that, these welfare programs, okay? That's your money. There's no shame in if something happens to you, and you've been a working person for most of your life, there's no shame in, because that's your money. So you have nothing to be ashamed of. What I challenge is people who have not worked or contributed to put money into the system to take from the system when they didn't put nothing in the system. Now, am I saying that about this lady? No, because the article says that she was going to school. She was going to college. She's trying to get a bachelor's degree for social work. And then she set that aside for a while to help her family. And then that's when she heard about this program. Okay. No, I'm not saying that about her. The issue with her saying, you know what, I want to take a significant portion of that money and spend it on vacations and do nice things. What did people expect? What did the government expect? You giving this lady over $10,000. What do you think she's going to do with it? Just pay her utilities? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's going to pay her utilities and then some. And I probably would do the same thing. Look, you giving me $10,600 or $800, whatever. That's my taxpayer money. That's my money. Okay. If you give me that, I'm going to pay my bills. And guess what? I'm going to chill. I may invest some. Of course, I'm going to save some. But I'm going to go and buy me nice stuff and I'm going to fix my hair up. I'm going to fix my place up. I'm going to do that. Because guess what? That's my money. Why? Because I worked most of my life. And you took taxes, government took taxes out of my paycheck and to contribute to that program. That's my money. That's your money. You have every right to get on it. You have every right to take from that. But people who have not contributed to the society, who have not put back into the system, no. You need to get out here, get your lazy butt a job, and put in so that if something happens later on, you can take out. And this is what ticks me off. Because you got people that don't want to work at all, don't want to better their life like this woman is trying to do, okay? Don't want to better their life, okay? Hogging off of the goodies. You got the illegals. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit that. illegals coming here to America, illegals, not the legal people, but illegals from different countries, okay, coming into America, not to assimilate and learn our traditions and learn how to speak our language and all that. No, that's not what they want. The goodies. They want what our money, our taxpayer money, have put in. They want that for free without contributing at all. That's what pees me off. Okay, these two groups. That's what I wanted to speak on. Okay, so no, I'm not here necessarily putting this lady down at all. You know, yeah, she's going to do that, and I have in my clickbait with her, you know, dressed all nice or whatever. But that's just clickbait. That's what it's designed to get you to want to listen to the video. You know, but no, that's to be expected. You got to think about it. If a person is not used to having money for an extended period of time, and you give them a large sum of money, what do you think they're going to do? Are they going to say, for the most part, based because of that's their mindset, for the most part, they're going to take that money. They're not going to invest that money or save up that money. For the most part, they're not going to do that. They're going to take that money and they're going to chill. They're going to party. They're going to buy it on depreciable object, things, things that depreciate over time. That's what they're going to buy. You know, I mean, they're in poverty. That's what they're going to do. What do people expect? What did the government expect? It's really hard to put people down for that. And I used to do that. I used to criticize, man, all they going to do is buy it. But I'm looking at it now, I'm like, wait a minute. If you give me over $10,000, no strings attached, they say, okay? As I said, yeah, I'm going to pay my rent. I'm going to pay probably 3 or 4 days worth of 3 or 4 days, 3 or 4 months worth of rent in advance. I'm going to pay my bills, set aside a portion for bills, and then for at least 3 or 4 months, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save some money, and then I'm going to go ahead and buy me some suits, probably a nice little used car, okay, a big screen TV, a bigger screen TV. That's what I'm going to do because I've earned it, because it's my money. It's my money. Yes, I'm struggling and I lost my job or whatever. But guess what? I've been working for some years. I put that money into that. That's my money. So I have every right to do what I want to do with it. That's what I wanted to say about that, though. But what do you guys think about this lady here? What do you guys think about what? Do you think she was wrong about what she did, or do you think she was okay, Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.